Hello friends, got a quick one for you today because it was so freaking hot last weekend that my cameras kept overheating. So did not get any footage of qualifying or the pre-final, but we've got the final here for you, and I think that was actually the best part of the day. Some really good racing, not necessarily by me all the time, but you know, just in general. So as you'll see in a minute here, we're running the version of the long course with an added chicane at the end of the main straight here. I do like the challenge and variety of mixing up the course, but I think I probably would have been better without it this time. I was really struggling with adapting to chicane, and I do mean adapting because pretty much every lap somebody would hit one of these barriers and it would be different the next time around. So yeah, you'll see some of that in the final, and there was some of that in the pre-final as well. I qualified 4th, I believe, and dropped a few places down to 7th in the pre-final, largely due to failing to get a good run out of that chicane there, but let's work on that. For now, we've got a race start. I'm on the inside row at least, which will be helpful, and for the first lap here, we're skipping the chicane going around the left side, so that inside should help me out when we get up to the top of the hill into what's normally corner 1. I obviously want to get a good launch here and be nice and tight, not letting anyone from the outside row sneak over to the inside here. But also want to be a bit conservative because we don't know when people are going to back up as we get up toward corner 1, and obviously don't want to go into anyone ahead. So we got a good start there compared to the outside row, but okay, Jaden in front of me cut over when I was not expecting. I think I lifted a little bit there, but fortunately no one got over in front of us, and on the inside row there we were able to get around that corner ahead. Just side by side with Todd here, but he's on the inside for the left there, so he did manage to get that spot. And all in all, I don't think we gained or lost any in all that. So, you know, could be worse. So we're still in touch here. He pulled a little bit of a gap up the left-hander there, but I think we should be able to close it up still, hopefully, depending on what draft he's getting from in front. And if anyone behind tries to fight with me, I think I gave my helmet a little tap there to try and forestall that. And if we can get a good run through this chicane here, yeah, we can close right back up. This was one thing I was really happy about today. I improved this sequence quite a bit compared to, well, really ever before, but in particular my last weekend here. Could have gone for a pass there, potentially, but he's got a little bit of a gap ahead of him, and I didn't want to compromise us through this added chicane by doing that. You know, then we'd both get a terrible launch out of there and really be out of touch with the carts ahead, so I figured better to bump him along and try and close back up with them. I think he's also one tooth shorter in gearing than me, which is part of why he's getting a better run out of these corners, but then like now I'm sucking right back up to him. Probably going to see the same thing coming around here. We're a little bit low in the rev range on the way up there, and yeah, he pulls just a touch of a gap, but then with the draft, you know, right back on. Here I actually intentionally go out a little bit wide from the apex because I didn't want to catch him mid-corner there, so that lets me, you know, continue to carry speed without catching. Again, could have gone for a pass there, although it would have been a little bit of a late lunge. Might have been a good idea, though, because I was feeling like I was getting held up through this sequence a touch, but still lots of time left. Same thing, he gets a tiny bit better run out of the corner, but then I get a good run on him. I think with that much of a speed differential, if not for that yellow flag, I might have gone for it there. Oh, that barrier is out of position now, as we talked about, and unfortunately, that's going to really cost me. Costing me already. Yeah, didn't know exactly what to expect going through there, so didn't get a good run out, and then kind of bogged all the way up to corner 1, and Joey in the 47 here got ahead of me. But we're right on top of him, too much so. Now I figured that was past the part of the corner there we were really super loaded up, and I thought I could give him just the tiniest tap there and it wouldn't be a problem. It turned out it was a problem, fortunately for me rather than him. But yeah, still going all right, just wheeled a little bit and lost a little bit of speed there and allowed 95 to get past us. So going backwards for a bit here, but hopefully we can turn things around. That was all right. Again, getting a decent run to close up to him, but we've got a standing yellow here, I guess because of these barriers out of position. And that one is really the white barrier that's now facing directly toward us is making me nervous. Honestly, I hate whenever one of these barriers is out of position in that way. I would almost think that it should be a red flag, because if you hit one of those head on, that is not going to be a fun time. But yeah, so I think going a little bit more conservatively through there than I could have been, but it makes sense. Going out pretty wide there, but hung on to it and kept the speed up and closing up this gap, so this is nice. And same thing here. I was going to catch him mid-corner if I'd taken the regular line, which is why I went a little bit wider like that so that I could catch afterward, give him a little bit tap, and then I'm going to tuck it in here and close up to 47. I really like that. Whoa, I don't like that. Broken cart right on the apex there is another thing that I think maybe should have been red flag, but at least isn't so far. I was just going to say, it's always nice when you have a chance to pass somebody into that final chicane without losing touch with the cart in front, so you can get their draft down the straight and protect you from the guy you just passed. Speaking of getting past, once again took that chicane pretty poorly and got a poor run up the hill, so Charlotte got by me there. But we're going to stick with her, give her a little bump here probably, and yeah, try and close up with those guys in front. Now here I'm having to slow down a little bit earlier than I normally would for this corner since I'm right behind her, but then I'm still taking the same early apex that I regularly would, where she's taking a slightly later one heading a bit more straight up the hill. I wonder if that's more of the tagline. But anyway, I'm kind of getting the worst of both worlds because of it, because I'm not making use of the wider line by carrying more speed in, so I really should have adapted there. Again, this felt strong to me all the way through, and I think she's maybe being held up a bit by the carts in front. And of course it's yellow through there right now. Close the gap a tad there, and they may Constantine it back a little bit through here, so might a little bit more on the way in. And yeah, I mean, compared to how I was taking that a lot of the day, that one was serviceable at least. She sends it up the inside there, but he's going to hold on around the outside, and that really scrubbed all her speed away, so we're close right back up. Fortunately caught up in a spot in the corkscrew there where you actually can give a little tap. Now here, I think what happened there is that I was worried I was going to go right into her and sort of let it swing out wide to avoid without losing too much speed. Obviously, if you're forced to lift it all there, you're just paying for it all the way down this back straight. Now, it looks like they're going to fight a little bit, which might give us another opportunity to catch up here. Is she going to make it by? Not quite. He's going to close the door there, and I think it's either Todd or Jaden right in front. That cart is still there, and ooh, that was a bit close to the barrier too. So we're going to close back up here. I think that time, again, could have sent it in there. Would have cost us both, and I don't even know if I would have ended up ahead of her, but he would have gotten away. So I figured I'd wait for a better ooh, wow, that's quite a slide there. Figured I'd wait for a better opportunity. I guess that wasn't it, but she's made a couple of sends on him already, and I figured there would probably be another one, maybe right coming up here. But yeah, there she goes. I'm a little bit too far back to do anything about that now, but we'll, again, let it swing out just a little bit wide there so that I didn't make that same mistake of tapping him mid-corner, because here is where we want to tap, send him right by, and we will go by as well, so that's nice. And we're getting a good run on him and can keep going there and get them both. And I gave the signal there. I figured she's probably right behind and maybe would just try and follow me through to complete that. I think she actually got stuck behind, so that didn't happen. But yeah, got those both and am catching right up to the next two ahead. So this was just feeling excellent. Except for that part. I really still did not like that. Okay, still going well there. Still in touch with these two. If I can get right up onto his bumper, maybe we can do the same sort of thing if they start fighting. Still not taking that quite as well as I have been at some points. Okay, maybe an opportunity coming up here with the lapped cart. And yeah, with the double draft there, I'm getting a huge run, so I'm going to send it on the inside of him here and should be able to get that done. But no, he's, oh, jeez. He was really hanging on to it, and he was getting that draft from Todd in front. You saw 47 just try and sneak it up the outside of me there, and unfortunately he actually got onto a slippery part of the track on the outside and went into the barrier there. So we are going to have a red flag in just a moment here.
sorry about that.
Wes!
That corner up there, fucking, I thought you were going to back off there.
I thought you were going to back up.
Same thing.
It was fair.
Yeah, I tried to avoid you there. I kind of went really far inside just so...
Yeah, we both kind of avoided, I think.
That was good. I thought I fucking took you out, and I thought that was a red flag. I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah, I think that fell into the category of hard but fair. I really should have actually sent it a little bit harder. Looking back at it, I lifted a little bit midway through the pass because I just had so much speed on him. I thought that it was pass done, and I was trying to set up for the rest of the chicane. But yeah, if I'd held on a little bit more and sent it through the first corner, I think I could have made it stick, most likely. But anyway, here we are now, and we've got a single file restart, and should have more opportunities to make up some more positions, hopefully. So we're just on the, theoretically, the formation lap now, but unfortunately, as you'll see, this doesn't go quite as planned. Things are pretty spread out. We are back in, I believe, 7th position, or thereabouts, 7th or 8th at the moment. And on the back straight here, so the leaders where I am should already have been slowing down, but apparently what happened was there was some confusion over whether it was going to be 1 lap or 2 laps to green. So nobody slowed down on the back straight here, which normally would mean that we wouldn't get a green flag and we go around and line up the next time. But for some reason the green flag flew even though no one was in formation. So yeah, that's pretty unfortunate because we've got a huge gap out in front, especially beyond the two in front of us here, which is going to be pretty difficult to close up, especially since we are again going backwards instead of forwards. But let's see what we can do here. Same thing again there, conservative with the entry speed, but still taking that early apex line and just driving further than I need to. But yeah, not the end of the world. We're closing back up here. And maybe she does sacrifice a little bit of speed doing that actually, and that's how we're able to close back up, or maybe it's just the draft, although she is getting a draft in front as well. Regardless, we're definitely right back in touch now, and if we can keep doing this chicane reasonably well. And that seemed okay to me, but apparently not fast enough for the GoPro, which has now overheated. Now you'll notice the yellow flag there, and you'll notice the 2 carts passing the other cart. And there's another barrier that's just annihilated. For once I got a good run out of there though, and maybe could have sent it on Todd, but because I chose not to, somebody tried to send it on me. I was able to hang on around the outside there, but that did cause me to scrub off quite a bit of speed, so we've got some distance to make up here. And hoping that he's going to help out with that rather than trying for another send here. Fortunately, he does stick behind, and I don't know if it's just the different camera angle, but that felt quite a bit better than the last couple of times I took that. So we are closing up here, I think. Certainly not going to be close enough to make anything happen this time through, but we're going to do our best to send it through here hard. As you're going to see in a second, I maybe got a little bit too ambitious, as I'm going to miss this last apex and just about eat barrier. Oh, that was so close. I must have been millimeters away from that thing, and as I've said before, if you even brush one of these, especially that blue barrier, it seems like, it just sucks you right in. So, yeah, got lucky there. I also got a tap from behind right in the middle of the barrier chicane there because I was being a chicken and going through it slower than the guy behind me expected. So for a second I thought I was going straight into that head-on barrier, hence the audio cut there. And now we have a video cut because that is the last camera giving up the ghost to the heat. And so that's it, I guess. Let's look at this while I finish talking. In the last few laps, I managed to make a couple more places up, I think, but by the end, I had completely cooked my rear tires and did a bunch of big drifts, which, while kind of fun, didn't particularly help my finishing position. Lost those places back and ended up right about where I was now, around 8th place. So, yeah, in terms of finishing position, certainly not one of my better races, but a lot of fun racing in there. And like if I put my optimal lap together, I'm basically on the leader's pace. The problem is I don't have the seat time yet to be consistent. But now that I at least know what I need to do and that it is possible on the perfect lap, it's just a matter of getting that consistency and putting it all together. So that, I guess, will be the plan for next time. Hope to see you out there.